This presentation is brought to you by Smoooth Productions.
What's going on, everyone? All the party people. It is your boy Smoooth. That is Smoooth with 3 O's, live from Beat District Radio Station in the heart of Ferguson, the first Black-owned internet station going down right here in the Lou. Welcome to another edition of Smoooth Conversations, where the conversations are always smooth. Need everyone right now to go ahead and get them likes, get them shares going. We want to get as many people tuned in to another great Smoooth conversation that I'm going to have in store tonight. And on the promo side, make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube page, Smoooth Conversations. Once again, Smoooth with 3 O's. That's definitely important. Make sure y'all go ahead and make that happen. Like, subscribe, share, spread the word. And then, of course, you can listen right now if you ain't already. KBDR, Beat District Radio. Go to beatdistrictradio.com. Check out the website. They have so many great things. We have, should I say, so many great things going on with the station. So many different shows like this one right here. Like my boy, JD the DJ. Just got done with Rhythm and Flow. Shouts out to my boy home there down. He was playing that R. Kelly, them slide joints. Ended up with some blues. I was loving it. So shouts out to my boy. We have comedy podcasts. We have youth teen shows going down, DJ shows. You name it, we got it. For those who love the old school, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Time Travelers, G-Wiz and Lady Jock for holding it down on Saturday mornings. Got DJ Boogie Ray. I mean, we have just so much going on here. And we just started y'all back in March, and we keep on growing and doing our thing. And it's all because of y'all. We need y'all support. And we're going to do some things for the community like we have already. So stay tuned for that by going to the website and just see what Beat District Radio is all about. If you want to have an ad play throughout our radio station throughout the day, or if you want to sponsor one of our shows like Smoooth Conversations or other shows under the Beat District Radio umbrella, shoot us an email, info@beatdistrictradio.com. Let's make it happen. We all about supporting, showing love, getting that exposure out there for yourself, for your business, or whatever you want to do, whatever you're doing, should I say. But once again, ads, sponsorship, info@beatdistrictradio.com. This show is also brought to you by Smooth Moments. Yours truly. Y'all need some amazing smooth photography, videography, some drone services, some aerial shots. Yours truly got you covered. For those listening right now on the station, just go to smoothproductions.com. Once again, Smoooth with 3 O's. Productions.com will make it happen. For those watching throughout the show, you can just scan the QR code on the top right of the screen, and you are good to go, and you can connect with yours truly. And then last but definitely not least, I have the honor of being a moderator for the 7th annual Elevate Conference. Goes down tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the UMSL Millennium Student Center. Come on through. It's going to be a lot of amazing, successful brothers. And we're going to talk about everything, man, mental health, about leadership, just about life in general. We want to elevate each other, and I have the pleasure of being one of the moderators. I'll be moderating the 1 o'clock to 1:45 session before we close things down. So you do not want to miss it. You can register right now at mgcelevate.org. Once again, mgcelevate.org right now and be a part of it. We already expecting over 200 some people to be in attendance. So you're going to have breakout sessions. We're going to have workout opportunities, a lot of ways to connect with the brothers. And it's an honor for me to be a moderator for a amazing panel that I'll be talking to. So check that out and so much more, y'all. Let's get right into it. Back to me. Once again, Smoooth Conversations. For those about to for the first time, Thank y'all very much. If y'all wondering what is Smoooth Conversations all about, well, I'm glad y'all asked. I've been doing this show ever since June of last year. The very first guest I had was the one, the only guy, Tori, and ever since then, it's just been amazing. It's been a blessing. This has been my ministry. And this is all about showing love, getting these stories out here. We see people doing amazing things on stage, on social media, wherever it is, but we don't know about the journey and where they come from and where they're going right now. And that's what this show is all about. This ain't about the shade room or any other kind of like negative stuff that's going on. I'm not saying the shade room is all negative, but just want to put out there. But this show is just really about spreading positivity because we need more of that in this world. And tonight, I have the pleasure of having a brother who I have respected in his craft for probably over 15 some years now, maybe close to 20 years. It's amazing. It's been that long. He probably don't even realize it. But I've known this brother for so long, and every time he came to the stage, he just shuts it down as a spoken word artist. I want to reference sports in this for those who love baseball, and your team is up by a run or two, and you want to close out that game. You want to bring in that closer. He's the kind of person you want to bring in to close the game and shut things down, and he does that. Basketball, you down the clutch, couple of seconds left. You got that one play you want to draw up for your player to make that shot. He's the kind of dude that will make that happen. He is also, well, actually, he's been a spoken word artist since 2010, been a writer for as long as he can remember. He is focusing on leading, being a teacher, mentoring, amazing workshops for the up-and-coming spoken word artists. And he's a father. He's a man about his business. And I'm looking forward to having a wonderful conversation with the one, the only Jayluvve. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? How you doing? I appreciate that intro. Made me sound good. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Hey, it's my pleasure to have you here in the station. Hey, I'm gonna keep it 100. He had me nervous. It was like about 5:48. I'm like, oh Lord, do I got to do a best of all of a sudden? But no, he made it here, and then he explained to me, and I totally understand because that's how life is. Man. But you being a father, that takes over anything else. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's your priority, and I definitely understand it, man. But once again, it's a pleasure to have you here in the station. I always love to ask the guests because 2025 has just been a crazy year, and we're so blessed and fortunate to still be here right now, being able to shake hands and be on this show. So talk about for everyone watching and listening, tuned in, and also please feel free to leave comments. We want to engage with each and every one of you, as long as it's appropriate, of course. But leave comments. Please refrain from any, cussing or anything, because this show is, FCC violated rules here. So we got to make sure we keep it PG. But if I approve of the comment, I'll show on the screen and he can interact with you. And I have a camera that he can look right into and speak to you right in your eye, just like he's on stage dropping down an amazing spoken word piece. So once again, leave comments. But going back, 2025, man, what has been your biggest takeaway that you've gotten from this year thus far?
Oh my God, what a question. Man, like you said, I think my focus has just been family. That's really where my heart is. That's where all my poetry is right now. So I really just been trying to learn on the go. Like you said, I'm a father. Got 3 kids now, and so I'm balancing. I'm balancing and learning a lot. And 2025 and the world, I can't let that influence how I want my children to be raised. So it's been crazy, but in our house, it's been influential. It's been good. We're really big voices in their lives. right now, especially with everything going on. The kids at home need that. Uh, I think that's just like that's my thing right now. That's my greatest joy. That's my purpose. And everything else is just the world, man. The world is crazy. It changes constantly. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
along for the ride, man.
Definitely is a lot of things going on, man. And I know you told me that you are currently, South Side.
Yes.
But as I brought up in previous shows, because it's just something that is important. It's important to talk about. But we've had some really big tornadoes, natural disasters going on. One happened actually in my neighborhood. It actually hit my house. It didn't tear down my house, but tore down my neighbor's house right next to me, and the house right next door to my neighbor. They both getting the houses, remodeled, redone, everything one from the ground up. The other one, just some big touch ups. My house, we're hopefully getting to the stage where they can start adding like more siding and everything and get that completed.
Okay.
But we had that. And then in May, you had what went down in the city, where a tornado hasn't even hit that area in over 50 something years. Then, you have, of course, the man in the office. You just seeing so many changes. You have CEOs out here with women that's not his wife
on camera.
You know what I'm saying? Just so many things being exposed. Yeah, you just seeing so many things that just being put out there. But just everything that I just talked about, what has been your takeaway from those events and how the tornado has affected you? Because we know that it's affected so many communities, down the city and areas that people didn't expect. And there's no telling how long it's going to take for the city to be back to where it was, even if it can't anymore.
Yeah. Man, that's where my mother's house is.
Wow.
Her building's fine. Much like yours, it's kind of like, little small things. But to see the neighborhood, to see the neighborhoods, because, legacy.
Yes.
Legacy took a hit, and that was home. That was one of the safest places I felt growing up. So, that was tough. That was tough to see. Man, it's just, I've lived over there so long and I have memories, so many places. I'm like, yo, this was my bus stop. This is where I played in that church basketball league. This is where I had to walk, whatever. It's breathtaking. It was breathtaking to kind of see the devastation and just the trauma. We already trying to heal from, like you said, the man in the office and survive from that. And then, for that to happen in a place where it doesn't happen is tough. We weren't prepared, obviously. So that just, that's a tough one.
Yeah, so continue prayers out to those affected.
Yes.
Let's just continue to take, as my mom taught me, just take it one day at a time. Sweet Jesus. That's all we can do. So once again, prayers up, man. But let's talk about, man, from you being a youngin', man. How would you describe yourself just looking back now as you was as a kid?
Oh man. Much like my son, energetic.
A reminder, huh?
Yeah, man. Because I'm not like that per se. I'm more like that mentally now. My body don't move that fast no more. I'm older, but I was energetic, man. I played all the sports. I was playground king, kickball champion. I was all of that. I did everything. And then growing up, I went to Bush. I went to AAA Bush, the sports school. So we played every sport under the sun there. And I think, athletically, that was kind of my thing growing up. I played a bunch of sports, man.
So playing a bunch of sports, just being outside. You was a playground king. So that makes me
warrior. Let's say warrior.
Here we go. Playground warrior. Okay. Might get some comments all of a sudden on a phone call. Like, wait a minute, man. Now you know. But no, just that for you saying that, and I brought this up before in previous shows, but certain things just trigger another thing to bring up. But just talk about missing those days now where kids can just be free and go outside and not have to worry about the drama, the trauma that may occur, or the fear that parents may not see their kids come back home.
Yeah, man. Honestly, and I talk with their mother about this. I think the fear is the adults, because we already know these kids aren't born with the fear of not being able to go outside. So like I said before, in our house, in our domain, we kind of control those outlets, you know, where they would be exposed to certain things. We really do limit that because we want to be able to control the conversation about what's going on, not shield the truth, or you know what I mean. But it's our job to protect our children from what they doing out there, because it's not appropriate for them, you know. And so you know, we have our thoughts on all the electronics and things like that, but we take them outside, you know. We right there with them. We go outside. We bought a little $50 pool this summer just so they can go out in the backyard, right. You know. And so we really try and give them that freedom as much as we can, you know, working around our fears. And you know what I mean?
And I would say, as a parent, I was at first apprehensive in regards to wanting to have my kids have a phone at such a younger age.
Yeah.
You know, because back then it was like, no, you don't need no phone, you know, whatever. But now, because of how this world is, it's like, it's kind of like a requirement. Once your child turns 10 years old or something, you want to give them a phone because you have to keep tabs on it now.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, I agree with you. But also, how did my mama keep tabs on me when I was 10 years old?
Right.
Or my grandmama knew exactly where I was, and my aunties, everybody knew where I was.
And that's a whole conversation right there.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so cell phones, man. So I work in a high school, and I've had this conversation about 10 times already, and it's access, man. They just have too much access. I would never put it down if it told me yes every single time. They never get a no for anything. Hey, I'm gonna look up this. Okay, yes. And it just goes right through. I want to know what this looks like. And they search it and they go right through. We ran out of minutes.
Right.
They never go feel like us because they don't run out of minutes. It's on the plan. It's all day yeses. That's all their validation. That's their boyfriends, that's their girlfriends, their best friends, their worst secret. You know what I mean? That's almost their hand. That's almost their hand, and they getting bold in these schools. It's a law now, right?
Yeah.
They don't care nothing about that. And the parents. Too many conversations. Go ahead.
This is exactly what's needed, because that's where I want to get to, because we got to talk about it, because once again, this is very important, especially us being Black men, that we had to start addressing these things and put it out there, because we just can't continue to sit back and see things continue to crumble. We had to start not just talking, but putting action to it. Yeah. And it all starts at home.
Yes.
It starts at home. And like you said before, the access, and how you said back in the day, well, how did our parents catch up with us? Because we, like I always say, even to this day, me being 3 years old, I still fear my mom.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? These kids nowadays is more of a, I got you, dog. My best friend. Yeah. That's my boo. That's my queen. You know, stuff like that. And it's like, that's not what it is. And that's the reason why we're seeing these kids have certain mindsets, because they're so exposed to certain things at the home, and then they go out to the real world, and we're seeing those results.
Yeah.
But do you talk about that?
Yeah. The parents, the parents are the number one enablers, or they're the number one motivators. It just depends on what they choose. And I don't want to be a hypocrite. Like I said before, I really control what my kids see and when they see it. And so that we can be a part of that conversation. I can't tell another family that they shouldn't be doing this, but I will tell you this. They have to get the respect back.
Right.
And y'all want to be friends, that's great, but like also there's respect and boundaries that need to be in place, because they don't have those boundaries for the top person in their life.
Right.
So when they go to school and they have these teachers say, hey, put that phone away, the top person in their life doesn't care about that. And so they're not going to care about that when they look at that teacher and tell them, you don't pay my bill. And it's like, we as educators in turn say, well, you're hurting yourself because you're not getting the education you need so that you can go the places that you need to go. These are all our kids that are supposed to be the inventors and the politicians. And, you know, I see a kid rapping and he's supposed to be on the radio, not about what he rapping about, but he doesn't know any better. So you rap what you know what you know. And if you never learn anything, some of these kids stop learning at 4th grade.
Right.
And they just been passing them through. And it's super unfortunate when they get to high school and that's all they know. Or, you know, a kid who can't spell his own name, you know, and that's eye-opening because you don't always know that coming in, you know, when you're learning the kid, but you find out that's why they fight all the time. That's why I'm in the hallways, in the bathroom. That's why I'm smoking vapes and all the things that they do, because I can't read. And Miss So-and-so going hot call or cold call me and he's going to embarrass me in front of my friends, you know? So the cycle just keeps going. It's just a coil that just goes down. And I see different points where you could intervene and step in, and I try to do that, but the past is the past, and if they have that trauma, people back there got to help too. You know what I mean? Like the people in the future can't do all the work because that's healing, you know, that's healing. That take a lot of personal growth and maturity. And so we show them that, we don't give them that. You know, you have to be a person who can be an example for them, because if every time you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is grab your phone, it's all I see. You know what I mean? Or every time I come home with a bad report card, it's the teacher's fault. That's all they see. No personal accountability. My mom ain't never went to my school and been on my side.
Right.
Unless it was for honor roll, you know,
Right.
I sang a little bit, you know. But if she had to get called to the school, she was already upset.
Oh, yeah.
She was, and not at the teacher, at me. She was upset at me because why get to this point that they had to call me? I get it. You're a kid. No. But after that, and I give you these consequences, and they gotta call me for my job where I pay for your stuff that you wearing. And man, they shoes are so much.
Oh man!
Oh my God!
Just to add on to that.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You good? But just to add on to that,
Wow.
I think about times, and not saying I was a bad kid at all, but if I did slip up and my mom showed up to the classroom, my heart just stopped. I feel like, oh, that's the end of my life. Oh, truthfully. And like I said, nowadays you just don't have that. And then to add on even more to it, you're seeing so many stories of these students, and it's videos everywhere attacking teachers.
Yep. Because their teacher tried to hold them accountable, probably.
Yes.
That's probably what happened. I'm not defending all teachers, because some of them are creeps. Right. Some of them are bad people, and that's everywhere. But no, most of the time, these parents are upset at these educators, but because they're trying to hold their child accountable.
Right.
They tired of raising them, in a sense. I mean, I think that's a part of an educator's job, but it's just basic stuff that, like I said, respect, just the respect level. If they just respect it, works both ways, you know. It works both ways, but they navigating also. They doing this life for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And we see the mistakes and we so upset about it. No.
And there's something else too, because this generation, even the adults, something that they don't like to hear or see, we instantly have that inner rage where we have to instantly lash out without thinking, which can affect your whole life.
Yeah.
You know, one bad decision because of rage.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how to release that energy, that negative energy that you have in you. And now you could be in jail for a majority of your life just because of how you keep on bottling things in.
Yeah.
Which we can talk about mental health and everything later on.
Yeah.
But it's just so much going on with the youth and with our generation as a whole, where we're just so quick to want to react negatively, and then we want to lash out.
Yeah, man. On the high school level, I see it all the time, man. They fight so often, and I say they fight because they don't know how to communicate. None of them know how to talk to each other. I mean, even the friends, you know, they supposed to be homeboys or whatever. It's like the things that they say to each other, and I don't really want to repeat it here, but it's not curse words or anything, but like the type of things they say. You know, I've been with my homeboys and we joan on each other all the time. I think that they don't have a boundary. And I think that it really hurts their feelings. And when it does, they don't know how to say, yo, bro, that hurt my feelings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Without, this make me look like this. You know what I mean? Less than what you think you are. But you're still who you are. You got feelings. They just don't know how to express them.
Yeah. So with that being said, because it's easy for us to pinpoint what's going on, but as you being a teacher, educator, what is some things that we can do, whether it's at home, whether it's at the school? What are some things, some solutions that we can possibly look into?
I think that wherever your child is at, set boundaries and hold them accountable. It's not going to look the same in every household. It's no guide to doing this. It's no perfect way. So find out where your child is at, meet your child where they are, and then you hold them accountable from there. And I think the standard has to be set. And, you know, if there's no standard, if you ain't ever talked about a clear goal, like, what is that? You know, and I get having them want to live their own life and make their own decisions. That's great. They need to be in the best position to make the best decisions for their own life.
And to add on to that, parents, there may be times that your kid may not like you because of how you're treating them, because you're holding them accountable, and that's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It may take a minute. It may take years until the kid finally say, you know what, Dad, Mom, I finally get why you were saying this and saying that. You know, we have an obligation to lead these kids along the right path. Give them the resources. Let them know what's going on in the real world, especially because you was the kid before. So it's pretty much nothing unless it's some new social media thing or some new technology thing that we didn't have back in the day, which goes back to your point about, well, how were we able to do what we did and how our parents were when they had less. And y'all have more. Like I would want
more.
Right. And like I would use for example in sports, how you have so many NBA players right now complaining about playing 82 game seasons.
Right.
But y'all have the best medical stuff in the world.
Right.
But you have people like Jordan and whoever else who played 82 games a season without the top technology in the world. But you still played.
That was a hard hat era.
But as soon as you get a knot on your knee, and you think it's, you know, whatever, I got to be out for 5 games because the season too long. You know, it's that privilege, spoiled mentality of not being used to going through the trenches, putting in the work and seeing the result, not just being spoiled because of who you are and you're seeing the result, because that's two different things.
Yeah.
But it's all about, okay, you know what? I'm going through some adversity. It's something, try to go around it.
Yeah, it's the microwave era.
And find something easier to do. Like, for instance, I know it's not a sports talk show, but I do have sports talk shows, everyone. Scan the QR code to find out about it.
Yeah.
But this is just a great point. But people, the spoiled mentality that we have, once again, people want to go around and not through the issue of the transfer portal in college sports.
Yep.
That has changed the game.
Oh, yeah.
Because now, let's say you get recruited to go play at Georgetown, the school that you've been dying to go to. And then you finally get there. Now, mind you, you have other incredible top high school players in the country going to that school too. So it's not just you. But okay, your coach was fed a dream. You was fed all year, this and that, that, and that. Here you go, you're practicing, you're doing your thing, but someone else is outperforming you.
Right.
And it's not the coach's fault. It's not your teammate's fault. It's the person that's holding the ball. It's the person that's on the court. That's the person you look in the mirror. And as soon as some notes don't go their way, oh, I ain't getting the playing time I used to have back in high school. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna hit the transfer portal.
I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
It's a gift and a curse.
Man.
You know, of course, it allows certain teams, you know what I'm saying, to be better, because now people can just go from one thing. But at the same token, what are you gaining from always running away?
Yeah, man.
But you go back to our kids.
Yeah.
They keep running away.
Yep. Can't relate, man. Can't relate. They man, I was undersized growing. Look, this is my athletic talk too. I was undersized growing up, so I really started from the bottom. You understand? Like, I was super athletic, but I was small, especially when you talk about football, because that's what I played in college. So, man, I had to grind for everything. I couldn't transfer. I wasn't gonna switch teams. I just need to do more push-ups, so I need to learn this play a little bit better. But like, I feel like it's so many different aspects of the game that they missing, because like I said, I feel like it is a microwave. I want it right now. I want the instant gratification. I want the touchdowns. I don't want to work for the touchdowns. I just want the TikTok. Yes. I want to do my dances. I need to do my dances. I don't care about the yardage. If I drop the ball, that sucks. But also,
right.
It's hey man, it's different. It's different out here, because that's not how we were. You know, even the 7-on-7s, and shout out to the 7-on-7s, but we did 2-a-days. We were full padded. Right. You know what I mean? And so now there's not really any of those full padded practices like that, like it was, as vigorous as it was back then. And that's
mandated by the state.
Exactly. And I think it's showing. I think it's showing at the lower levels. And then you start talking about them getting older and having those injuries. And then that's when you start switching to basketball. They've only played basketball since they were 7. The only sport they played, the only movements you've made on this ligament to strengthen it is this way. Only basketball. We played everything growing up, bro. You needed it.
Right.
You needed to run track. You needed for speed. You needed to play football for toughness. You needed to play basketball for touch. You needed to play baseball, hand-eye coordination.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All the sports. You needed them all, and we played them all. And I think that made more well-rounded athletes healthier. You could play 82 games if you didn't tested all your ligaments out since you was, 6'5".
Right.
I don't agree with everything that's going on. But I like how you focus on a thing. I think that needs to happen at a point, but they have to experience everything. Their bodies have to develop fully. These are kids out here that's millionaires. They millionaires. And then they be mad at them when they disappoint their franchise. I mean, they ain't really matured enough to carry all of that.
And then, you 18, 17, 18 years old, you about to go be a professional, and you don't even know how to balance a checkbook or
no financial literacy at
nothing.
At all.
All because once again the microwave, you want to go around the issue. You don't want to say, oh, you know what, I need to learn about this. So when I get to this point, I don't do an MC Hammer. You know what I'm saying?
Legit. Yeah, hey, y'all gotta go to college and sit through those classes too, and then you go to the football field. You gotta learn all that business, man, because they trying to take advantage of you for sure.
And my last sports reference for now, but going back to the transfer portal, all these moves that you're making, the next level is seeing that too, and you don't realize that until your draft stock came from being a top 5 pick to now being second round, because they see that you don't know how to handle adversity. Okay, well, he doesn't get his shot up, or he doesn't get enough shots, and you want to get transferred to different school. That's showing me his mental.
What you gonna do when you come here and you don't get enough shots up?
What you want to say? Trade me, and which you are seeing that now. As far as trade me to the, it's just that mentality, man. And it hopefully there's something that can happen where it just hits them like, I have to stop running and start going through the wall and not try to go around and find it. But going back, man, as a kid, I gotta ask the St. Louis question: what high school did you go to?
Man, so this is a simple question. I mean, it's a simple answer, but so I went to SLPS my whole life up until 8th grade. And then I got in the DSEG program.
Wow.
And I went to Lafayette.
I've had, over the last 4 shows, I've had 3 of my guests be talk about being a part of the DSEG program.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So talk about that. 'Cause I know for you, being in the public school system as a kid, up until the 8th grade, and then boom, you out here in Lafayette.
Yeah, that's where all my friends were, huh? I knew one person when I went to high school. I knew one. Man, how we made that choice was, it just kind of failed to me, so my sister went to Parkway West, so I wanted to go where she went, but then they were at their quota for people, and so my cousins were going to Marquette. And so I tried to go there, but I'm on the wrong side of the fence for that. So I ended up at Lafayette. However they split it.
Wow.
That's how I ended up at Lafayette.
That's crazy.
That's just, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I went for sports. I was supposed to be a quarterback. They shut that down quick.
Nope, ain't happening.
Nope, getting one of these athletic positions, sir.
And what class were you?
06. I graduated 06.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to Vashon High School.
Nice.
Came from a private school, maybe at the most 200 people, to going to Vashon, and
that was big time.
Exactly. So I know for me it was a culture shock, but for you, talk about that.
Oh yeah.
And how were you able to adjust? Excuse
me. And you know what? Man, I talk about this, and I hate to make it sound bad, because it probably was just me as a student. So I have bad student habits, is what I'll say. I wasn't the greatest student. I think a lot of my middle school years, I just picked up bad habits. And so when you go to Lafayette, the curriculum starts here. And so there was so much that I didn't know and that I wasn't aware of that was like common knowledge to them, and I think that there are parts of the curriculum that they learn that they just got there. And so it really felt like a step up. And then on top of that, I had bad study habits. And so the adjustment for me was tougher than I feel like if I would have just stayed where I was, or if I grew up in that same system, I think that these systems have certain ways that it's supposed to play out, and I disrupted that. Get good study habits because it travels. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that I'm teaching my daughter now. Like, hey, study habits, use your planning. You know what I mean? Just having those small things,
Right.
because you overlook so much being an athlete in school that is tougher. You know what I'm saying? Than what you're used to, with no friends and not a lot of, they have resources that you learn about, but, not a lot of social resources, to succeed. But man, I made it.
So you said that you was an athlete.
Yeah.
Were you involved in any other activities outside of sports?
During high school, no. I only played sports. I didn't do I didn't do anything else. I played football. I played basketball. I played basketball in the summer. I ran track a year. I played baseball up until high school, but at Lafayette, that's where Ryan Howard and David Freeze, all them went to. Our high school baseball team is good.
Right, it was crazy.
It was good. I was good with that. But it was I played a lot of sports, man. I did man, I feel like in middle school we did a little rapping. I did a little rapping with my music teacher. My music teacher had a brand, and there was a few of us that did little raps. I think that was probably when I started writing, probably lyrically. That had to be when I started writing. And then I think it was just a thing that I did. I did some stuff with my sister. She had a rapping career. I did some stuff with my cousin, just writing in the background. So I guess that's probably when it started. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to get her. She used to live across the street from me. I'm gonna have to say, you know what? You started my
right.
Wow, all right.
But like, tune in to watch my episode of Smoooth Conversations, and let's talk about this, because I gotta find out where all this came from. But because I'm gonna get to that is where did it come from in regards to?
I think that would be it. And you know what? For years I've been saying, you know what? It came from my poetry came from a failed relationship in college, and I started writing poems online, and then I gained following, and I fans. I gained following, and so I started performing. I was about to move out of St. Louis, and my following convinced me to go to Mocha Lattes Got Lyrics.
Yeah.
So it was just randomly I saw a flyer, and I went in there and I did poems.
Isn't it amazing how heartbreak can bring something that you just never thought would exist?
Man, yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Because you see it in songs.
Yeah, I was going to say Kelly
word.
Clarkson.
Just heartbreak and how disappointment can also open up the doors for something even greater.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing. And going back to school wise real quick, you said that you played football in college. So did you get a scholarship? How did that happen?
I walked on, bro.
Okay.
My first year I went to community college. My homeboy, when he played college, reported back. They were gonna let me walk on. I did all the stuff. I went up there. I did a year. I walked on. I took a few spots. Made the traveling team as a freshman. I was a gamer, man. I was a gamer. I wasn't the fastest. I wasn't the biggest, strongest. I was a gamer, bro. I was a ball hog.
Yeah.
I was smarter than everybody, because I grew up smaller, so I had to think. I had to think a lot.
Right.
The game more than physically dominating it. So I think that helped me a lot, and it gave me resolve and everything. And after that year, that's kind of when I stepped away from that and probably got into writing a little bit more.
And obviously, I'm about to say your competitive fire.
Yeah, that's where it comes from.
That's it.
Yeah.
As soon as you say that, I'm like, okay, so now it makes sense in regards to branching over to being a writer, spoken word.
Yeah.
Where do you think that you've gotten that competitive fire from? Because people it don't just come from this. I don't. Here it goes. Wait a minute, I got it. It has to come from somewhere or something.
Man, that's a tough question. To pinpoint it, I don't know. To pinpoint it is tough. We'll talk through it. So like I said, I was always smaller, so sports was challenging for me. I think that I played for Matthew Dickey. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I did too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was tough over there, man. And the coaches I appreciated because they were really mentors of and they held you accountable. You know what I mean? And I think as a young guy growing up in this thing that I'm not good at, I definitely could have quit. I could have quit a million times, you know what I mean? But having men around that really hold you accountable to things, you see how you can grow in something, and quitting on it isn't going to make you better for the next thing. It's actually a bad practice. You're getting repetition on doing something you should never do. Finish what you start. I tell my daughter, I put the dishes up and she only do half. I said, nah, we're going to finish.
Yeah.
I want you to get practice finishing what you start, because when you say you're going to do something, go ahead and do it. Be that person.
Yeah. Now talk about, from your perspective, that fine line of, I don't want to say quitting, but let's say quitting or realizing, well, maybe this just isn't for me. Let me go ahead and see about something else.
Yeah, man. I think that happens all the time. The only thing constant in the world is change.
Yeah.
If you feel in your heart you gave it an honest effort, then you gave it an honest effort. And what we see sometimes is kids give up too quick, but it is after a while, it is on them. Did you give it an honest effort?
Right.
You know what I mean? And if you've done that and you feel like, well, I'm more interested in this, or I know for sure I'm not interested in this, then okay. I've always been okay with you stepping away from a sport. You can't step away from a sport in the middle of the season. You're going to finish this season because we finish what we start, right? So, but if at the end of the season you say, hey, okay, let's find something else, because you can't sit in the house.
Yeah.
That's one thing my mother never let me do. I just couldn't sit in the house. I had to go do something, be a program.
Be active.
Yeah, you're going to be outside.
Yeah. Once again, this is Smoooth Conversations, where the conversations are always smooth. It's your boy Smoooth with 3 O's, and I have across the table from me, you have
Jayluvve.
There we go. We're here in the heart of Ferguson right now at KBDR Beat District Radio Station. Just talking about life. No planned conversations, no scripts, no anything. Just having an organic conversation. For those watching, thank y'all very much. Or for those listening on Beat District Radio, thank y'all very much. We appreciate it. For those watching, you have the opportunity throughout this show to leave comments. So if you know Jay, if you want to get to know him, you have any questions in regards to whatever it is, as long as it's appropriate, I would go ahead and have it on the screen and he can interact. I can interact with you. We got y'all. So once again, let's shower this man with all the love he deserves, giving him his flowers now. Let's not wait until people can't smell them.
Man.
We need to hear that.
Man, that's a poem.
Yeah, there we go. Let's see. I ain't even got that bug, but hey, my man here, he know what's up, man. But talk about the importance of showing appreciation, showing love, giving people their just due, and not waiting until they're older and old and gray or whatever. But at that present moment, how important is that, especially in the society that we're in now?
Yeah, I think that definitely since the big sickness, definitely since that, me personally, I realized how fragile life is. I think that it's important to tell the people how you feel about them in that moment. I think communication is what's missing. Love is what's missing. And so if you can come to people with that and grace, uh, it's we can do this. Like we can do this. It's not that difficult. You don't have to like everything that you see, hear, speak, or have access to. That's why we have free will. You know what I mean? I think can't turn off free speech. Can't turn it off.
As much as that person in DC is trying to.
Can't turn it off, man.
They trying.
Yeah, man. We gotta get them to the side. It's gotta, man. I just saw this movie that would be great to happen in real, not to happen in real life, but 0 Day. Have you seen that? It's on Netflix.
Okay.
Big government.
You said it's called 0 Day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big government overhaul. It's great. It's great how it happened. It's cool. I think it was a movie. It wasn't that long. It was good though.
Okay. I'm about to check that out.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to give it away. My bad. I don't want to give it away.
It's all good. No spoilers here on Smoooth Conversations. Now let's talk about the birth of Jayluvve. First off, the name.
My first name is James. I've never really had a nickname, so Jay was something I gave myself. Love is because I only wrote love poems. I think that the definition of that has matured as I've matured, because I really used to only write love poems about whoever, about love, all facets of it. And I think as I got older and I got more knowledge or intellect, you learn that everything, even when we write our injustice pieces, even when we write those, I have to wrap them in love, because that's what really what's missing from all these situations. I feel like that every piece that I write now is a love poem, because it's all about loving people and just loving them where they're at, with no judgment. And I just, yeah. The name has been something that's been controversial to me, because it feels like a lot of people change their names as they get older, but my name matures.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the same Jayluvve it was when I started. And so technically it has changed, I guess. So it's just, it's near and dear to me.
And I had last week on the show, shouts out to Drea Vocals.
Yeah.
And we talked about the word love, especially in R&B and in songs, and how we don't hear love as much as we used to back in the day.
Yeah. And
for you to express the reason why, your name is Jayluvve and what you do in regards to spoken word. And it goes back to the generation. It goes back to this youth. The whole nine is that there's just a lot of missing love.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's an emotion that's getting overlooked right now. I don't know why. But communication. I don't know. Communication and love, man. You just gotta get back to it. I don't even have to elaborate. I just think we have to get back on it.
Yeah.
It's too many definitions of it, but at the basis of it, man, it's grace. It's grace, and it's meeting people where they are.
Yeah. And that's something that I pride myself in. I know I'm far from being perfect.
Yeah.
But I always like to and when I pray, I say strive for perfection, and just showing love. Even when people don't want it, they want to be in their fifis. They want to have this mindset. Oh no, I just want to be mad. Let me just be mad. Sometimes you have to kill them with kindness and kill them with love, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
To let them know that, hey, even though you're going through this, I'm here.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we talked about a little bit of mental health. We can get more into it now, but because that has been such a huge topic over the last few years now. It seems like it just continued just to boil up and boil up, like being like a tea kettle, and all of a sudden this, you know what I'm saying, it whistles. And we're seeing so many people taking their own lives, the impact of social media, the impact of peer pressure. I mean, even with you being a spoken word artist, you know, you trying to have that zone where you're navigating, okay, after you're done, how am I going to be perceived? You know, being on stage, you know, the people say, I think Lewis, I saw the Lewis Confliction. He always would say the biggest fear is being on stage. You know, but just talk about real quick for your mindset, man. I mean, from your perspective, excuse me, mental health and how it is right now.
I mean, I'm an advocate for people taking care of their mental health. I think that it's hard for me to speak on it really because I battle every day with myself, and I think that with that, and then, you know, just trying to take care of my family, man, I have to make it through. I gotta make it every day. You know what I mean? And you know, and I said it in one of my poems, but this is real life. You know what I mean? I can only write what I live and write whatever God gives me. So, yeah, man, I keep going.
And we have a comment.
Keep going.
From Alex Sum, says, love you, cuz.
I love you, cuz. That's probably Alex.
There we go. So once again, keep them comments going, keep them shares. Let's get even more people tuned in, because we having some grown man conversation right now on Smoooth Conversations as we're talking about mental health, and something that is important to bring up. I want to get your thoughts, of course, but just the importance of taking some time out and just call a person and say, hey, man, hey, sis, or hey, you know, hey, my brother, I just want to just check in on you, see how you're doing. How important is that?
Man, you know, me and my close friends, I think me and my close friends found out how important that was on the wrong end of it. You know what I mean? I think that we all kind of went through life and we have personas, I guess, where, you know, you have perception where you want to look like you're doing okay. You know what I mean? And I think that we got older, some friends moved away, and it felt like, you know, you kind of grew apart a little bit. And we found it very useful, you know, when we all got back together, hey, we got to check in on each other. I need y'all to call me. You know what I mean? And they say the same, hey, I've been going through this and we don't know about it. Like, that's crazy. I should be calling and checking up on you. And I try and do that all the time as much as I can. You know what I mean? As much as my spirit allows me to. We stay close, and I think it's important to have that connection, because you don't know what anybody's going through, and everybody's going through something.
Right.
You know, and you don't need to go through it alone. You know, we have a lot of strong people that go through stuff alone. Respect. But like, you don't have to.
Right.
You know, and I think that's just my message about mental health, you know, in a nutshell, is you're not alone. There's somebody that wants to talk to you.
Yep.
You know, before you make that move, there's somebody that wants to talk to you, that wants to let you know, hey, I care about you, you know, or whatever it is. I love you, however big or what that means to you, you know. But that step won't solve anything.
Yeah. And I remember having a conversation with a partner of mine who I grew up with, and just like maybe a couple of years after I got married, shouts out to the wifey who's either watching or listening. Love you, wifey.
That's what's up.
And he just asked me a question that not recently, but at the time he was newly married. And he was just kind of going through certain things where he felt like he wasn't the man because of certain things. And just him coming out and letting me know.
Yeah.
Once again, you're not bottling that feeling and try to keep it to yourself and try to figure out yourself and try to act like you're God.
Yeah.
You know, you're actually saying, you know what, let me release this out of my system and seek, you know, let me talk to someone I can relate to. You know, someone who's married, who's been there, you know, who's seen this. Not saying I've seen it all, you know, but at least I'm in that space.
Yeah.
So when I was able to talk to him, I can tell through the conversation. I ain't have to see the brother, but I can tell and feel that I was impacting him in a positive way. So it's so important for us to see that and to believe that that can happen, but you don't know until you actually let it out.
Yep. And you just gotta pick up the phone and make that call.
Yep. You just gotta let it out. You know, it's not about the, you know, oh man, my name's Smooth, man. I'm I'm just too smooth to do all that. Nah, forget all that. You're a human being first. And you on borrowed time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And they're just getting shorter and shorter with the politics. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Yes.
Man. I said, I'm finna just love y'all. Come here.
Come on. Let's hug it out, man. Let's go.
Do it. Yeah, man.
So I want to go back to the spoken word era now for you. Was there a moment as you were doing your thing in regards to being a spoken word artist, you started to make your rounds, that you had that one performance or moment that you was like, this is why I'm doing it. This is why I'm here. This is that validation that I needed.
It wasn't my performance. It was, so I came up through Verbquake, which was a youth slam that we did for the high schools that we were able to get into and teach some poetry classes and get them performance ready. And then we would do this big thing at the end where all the high schools would compete, and we would have the top 4 teams, and we take them to the history museum, and then they would go up there. Man, from week 1 when we first got them to that moment is the proudest thing I felt in poetry ever. Right? That's the pinnacle of how I felt in poetry, seeing the growth. And I think at that time, being a younger man, I feel like I didn't know what type of influence I could have. I didn't have kids then, or I was still feeling kiddish myself.
Right.
And so to come into, these young kids' lives and have responsibility, it's my responsibility to be there for them, to guide them in the right way. You know what I mean? And so I think that first little taste of that, man, that was it. That was it.
Why is spoken word just so powerful?
I don't know, man. I think it always has. I can't define spoken word for all the people. I just think it always has been. The power of word of mouth has just always been there.
And speak about how therapeutic. Because once again, you're going in, you may have bent up energy, emotions, maybe had a long day, but then all of a sudden you just get that piece out, and all of a sudden it just feels so therapeutic. And especially when you see and feel from the crowd that they understand you, like, I get you.
I mean, you have those moments, you have those moments. I think that we like to say that, our favorite thank you is the one from the person who had to catch you in the back of the room. Like, hey, that really touched me. You know what I mean? Like, I think that, or that changed my life. However they put it, whatever grace they give, we like to say that that's our favorite one. And I think that that's our most meaningful one for sure. It's super therapeutic for me to go on stage at times and really live the lyrics that I speak. I think that's why I can cry in performances again off a piece that I've done since forever, because how I wrote it feels like it matures with me. And so I still get inside the lyrics. I still get inside poetry. I think the best performances I've had, I haven't even heard the audience. I think that I can get into wherever I'm at, and then I get done with the performance, and I can receive blessings. But like sometimes during it, it's tough. It's tough, and sometimes the crowd is flowing with you. I think my newer style that I'm rocking with is a little bit more back and forth with the crowd. I think when I started, it was super rapid fire, and you got to keep up. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to just mature and grow and change, and I always got the arsenal. And so I'm gonna speak on this too. So I do slam, and I used open mics as practice spaces, right? And I would hit every open mic that ever hit the city. I get to show love, and I get to practice whatever piece or put on this piece. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I want to do, but I'm not competing with anybody. Right. And I think that somewhere along the way, my competitive spirit might have rubbed some people the wrong way. But if you ain't competing against me, I ain't competing against you. I do slams. It's a controlled environment that everybody that signed up is here to compete. And so I compete against them. But I don't go to an open mic, or I don't go to a feature and feel like, oh, I'm competing with the next person on the stage. I'm not. I got to go up there and do whatever God sent me to do, and then I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna leave. How do people feel about that? It's how they feel about that, and I don't control that.
Right.
I go up there, I spit my truth. They like it. They happen to like it, and I think that's dope. That I can inspire people with the things that He's given me to write. And so, yeah, I just wanted to say that my competitive spirit is mine alone. I compete against me. I compete for the city more than I compete individually with anybody, because I've won. People have won. I've won already. I think the city hasn't, and I want to be the coach that wins the slam for St. Louis, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
You brought up being inspired. Who are some people who have maybe assisted you, or you seen do certain things? You like, man, I want to incorporate that to what I'm doing, or you were just so inspired to want to keep going?
So I'll start big. Shihan was the first poet I saw. I want to love like me, think you, think me. First poet I saw, right? The Saul Williams, right? And then everything else is local, man. All the poets that I came up with, and I
that was an era, man. That was a time.
You know what I mean? Like it was so many people, and so for me, like I said, I'm brand new. I just came into this space, and they doing a slam, and so I'm seeing energy, right? Is a certain type of energy that comes from it, and even from the audience, it was packed. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm seeing poets walk up and down the aisle talking to you. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen that before. The time limit, the bulls and all that. It's just I don't know. It's just a competitive ring, I guess. But what was the question again? I went on a tangent. What was that? What happened?
No, you all good. Give me 1 second here.
Uh-oh.
See, just make sure it's TV. Okay, and make sure we was good. Okay, yeah, I was just saying pretty much who inspired you.
All right, so we can name drop. So MK Stallings.
There we go.
All right, let's start at the top. MK Stallings. Greg the Poet. MC. Lewis Confliction. Surreal Sister. Copacetic Soul. Unspoken. Free. Who am I missing? Zayd Hams. Sahara, Sister Souls.
It's so many, man.
It's so many. It's so many. It's so many, right? And then you have your elders, also.
Brother Ting and all them.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I went to some Brother Ting again. I'm like, yo, I don't know if you remember me, but you have one of the most memorable poems from me. And I never saw him that often, So it was like I ended up with his CD. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how I did that. I don't even remember who I got it from because I missed the in-person joint that he did. That's why I do all in-person stuff. Because I saw him do it in person. I said, this is the only thing I want to do.
Yeah.
I don't have to do the CDs and the movies and that's dope. But I'm gonna get to that. That's business. But yeah, man, it's just so many, Lightning and her show was also just raw emotion, you know what I'm saying? Like in the barbershop over there. Yes. So like that was just one of the dopest shows, man. And it's just so many, it's too many legends to name, and I don't want to get caught up trying to name them all, but everybody inspired me. Anybody that I've seen on the stage in front of me, I have assessed, I have studied, and I have enjoyed. You know what I mean? I think that the styles are so different. Yes. And everything in poetry is so subjective because it legitimately is not the points. It's the poetry. And so people have something to say. Their delivery is the only thing that in slam that people judge. We don't judge the content. So I think that I've learned something from everybody that I've been in front of, or anybody that I've been blessed to see. I feel like I take something home from that.
We have a comment from Alex says, back when I asked you about why is spoken word so powerful, she says you have to listen to spoken word. No 808s, no extra.
Facts.
Then we have Joy Smith. Shouts out to you. Yeah, coach, keep going.
What up, coach?
That's what's up, man. So keep them comments going, y'all. Keep them shares. Let's get even more people tuned in to Smoooth Conversations as I have Jayluvve right here. We at KBDR. Beat District radio station holding things down. So you talked about all those great spoken word artists, man, and I bring it up when I talk to DJs and other incredible people who've done great things here in St. Louis, but that era as well, spoken word. I always love to just bring up that 2000 to 2010 era was just magic. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. A lot of it I heard about.
It was just magic, and you brought up legacy books. Shouts out to Mr. Nix and all them. I know that they're continuing to, rebuild from the tornado, but they're up and running, doing their thing. May not be as big as it used to be, but
they working. It look great over there.
Man, but when I say I used to look forward, because when I was in the band, shouts out to the Motor Soul era, and we was the house band for a nice period of time. But every Friday, we had to make sure you were there early so you can at least park in the parking lot. If not, you're gonna be parking down Delmar because it was just that thick. Lewis was hosting, we was the band, and it was this opportunity to just see so much greatness.
Was legacy, right?
Yes. It was just so much greatness that was in the building.
Yeah, man.
And
all the time.
And all the love. All the love that was shared. It wasn't like you said nowadays, the booing or whatever it is. No, it was support. If someone forgot a line, it's okay, poet. Keep going,
we got you.
That support. That was what was so special. So just talk about from you looking back 20 years ago now. And the era that we had, and how it was a hotbed, man. St. Louis was a hotbed for a lot of great spoken word artists.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah, I agree. So to exist in a place with so many fire writers. Sorry, Sir Irvin just came to mind.
Yep.
So shouts out to Sir Irvin. To live in an era with so many dope writers was iron sharpening iron. Iron sharpening iron. Right? It just felt like that. And that was a thing we used to say. Hold on. That was a thing we used to say in our slam circle was this is Shaolin. We all sharpening each other knives. This is where the monks come to do their work. You know what I mean? And it felt like that really for the city. You know what I mean? No competition, but the level.
Mm-hmm.
You know where the level at. And in our field, when it comes to slam, there's a level that you had to be at to you had to keep getting better. Right? St. Louis back then didn't let you be complacent. You really couldn't come with the same poems like that for real.
Oh,
you know what I mean? You had to continuously write. You had to continuously show up and be present. You know what I mean? And it's changed. It's changed a little bit. I think the eras have shifted over. I think a lot of us took breaks. I think a lot of life happened. You know what I mean? And so things were going to change anyway. But as I poke my head back outside, man, we got poets out here. We still got writers out here.
Okay.
We still got guys. We still got girls. I'm impressed with the female artists that are present in our field. It's slam is spreading. There's another team. I think that's dope. You know what I mean? I just feel like what the vision for the growth of the city don't look like what we wanted it to look like, but it's growth. And like I said, we gotta meet them where it's at, and we gotta love on them, and we just gotta raise them up. We gotta make this thing the biggest scene. There's no reason why we shouldn't be winning Grammys. We shouldn't be writing for people. We got writers in this city.
Do you feel, with that being said, that so many talented people are using their talents for not the right reasons? Cause for me, I think about, we see all these social media, TikTok, this, whatever, and you can do even more of using that knowledge and technology and brand something even more amazing that they're trying to focus on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things out here in this world that, except for posting fights all the time and whatever it is, you can use them certain skills and elevate yourself doing something else that now you can be your own brand and you're doing things the right way.
Yeah.
And I've came across so many people who are so talented, so amazing, but yet the way they conduct business, it hurts the brand.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a poet, that's the brand. And so I think when you start trending in that direction, it kind of will snowball on you. You know what I mean? Because this is word of mouth, for the most part. And so only thing you have is accountability and yourself. And so, life happens, but you just gotta be real about where you are and where you at, So
yeah. And you brought up earlier the importance of open mics, but of course I have my incredible run started up Word Up with energy, and been able to meet and connect with so many acts, so many artists, not acts, artists. I want to put some respect on it.
There we go.
And then of course doing that for years, doing Herb Arts. I was the first DJ to DJ at Herb Arts.
Dope. That's what's up. That's what's up. All
So, can't a lot of people say I did this, I did that, but put some respect on Smooth's name, Smooth with 3 O's. But no, just being blessed to do that. And I'm trying to recall, like, there's a certain moment how we crossed paths. Obviously, I was DJing.
Yeah,
but just give me your viewpoint of, okay, I see you, Smooth. You know what I'm saying?
Man, Smooth, when I meet you.
Because
it was, was DJing.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
I don't know, Smooth. I can't pinpoint it.
Yeah.
It's just like, there's just people that just cross your path, man. I don't know when I met everybody. I just know I remember the feeling when I was around a person, but I don't always remember where I met them from. So
and just to add on, because I recall when MK got at me because he wanted to have like a Friday night DJ, or he wanted to have like a slam DJ, because of course we had the Earth Slam and which I'm gonna get to very soon. But I remember that it was like a competition to see who was going to make the final,
right?
8 or whatever it was to go to represent St. Louis, to go to like Southern Fried and the whole nine. So I'm pretty sure that's probably how
that makes sense.
We crossed paths, is that I was DJing it, and
that makes sense. And it makes sense though, because at slams, bro, I be locked in.
Yeah.
I really be in my mode in slams because I got terrible stage fright. So I had to do so much practice to get to that moment. And then I know what, you kind of know about the point system and stuff like that. So, you just want to get it right. That's the game I'm playing, right? So, that was fun. It was a fun time, man. Like I ain't win them all. But I gave them all. So
now you say you didn't win it all, but the pinnacle of your career, 2014, where you finished and ranked first overall in the second biggest poetry slam competition in the world. Right. That is proof right there, as we talked about earlier, about not going around, but going through. So talk about that feeling. And once again, every question that we've been talking about, every topic has been so important, but just the importance of seeing people who's watching this right now or listening to understand the importance of feeling that reward based off of hard work and not just having it handed to you. Talk about that feeling.
Man, so winning So Fried is a Southern Fried Poetry Slam. So winning that is definitely, it's still kind of surreal for me. It's one of those things. It happened, and I never believed it. I got the trophy. I can show you the trophy. We got the videos. I think that man, it was just such a crazy time. That wasn't what I went there for. You know what I mean? I went there because that was one of the best teams that we have fielded thus far, and I felt really confident about our chances as a team to win. And so crazy, I was passed out with dehydration when they were calling my phone to tell me I was in finals, right? Like I was laid out on the floor, drinking water, kind of in and out of it. And they came and got me. They come and get me in the room, walk me downstairs. And man, I don't remember nothing, bro. It was let's go up here and do this poem. What poem do you want to leave? What poem do you want to do to leave them with? Because I wasn't supposed to make it out the first round. So I wanted to do all timers. That was my poem at the time. It was the top of it, and it did well. So we made it to the second round, and Letter to Self was the only poem that I really had left that was complete. By the time we got to the third round, man, I didn't have any poems left. I actually mixed poems on the spot. It was like, the worst I could do is get fourth. So I'm not even supposed to be this far.
Right.
So I did it. I mean, the judges scored it how they scored it. But it was amazing artists up there. I'll say that, like legends. And it's one of those things where you never you go there expecting to fight with them, but you never expect you in the fight with them. You know what I mean? Right, it's time to put your poems up next to their poems and your performance and your energy. And it was like 2 a.m, 3 a.m. We up doing that. I don't know.
and talk about that, because I know it was how many of it? I mean, how many were y'all there? All together, like 6, 8 people
in the finals.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about representing St. Louis.
Oh yeah. It was about 6 of us. It was
Okay.
about 6 of us. Yeah. So 4 on the team, and then a couple people came. Yeah.
Because I recall where there's pieces where y'all had to be in sync. Yeah. Like one band, one sound type stuff. And that was amazing to me. So talk about that hard work and the practice of having to make sure that everyone was on the same beat, same mentality. Because if one person messes up, all of a sudden everyone can see it. Yeah. And it can throw off everything. So talk about being able to come together as a team and be as one. Yeah.
Respects to Copacetic Soul, right? He was the poet that introduced at least us to Southern Fried as a thing. And so he was the first one to see it, right? And so I think that my generation, us as the poets that went, I think that we were blessed to have gone through this together, right? So the practices looked different as a whole when we came back because we knew what it took. Everybody knew what it took. You know what I mean? So it wasn't a lot of gray area for what we need to bring and how prepared we need to look. You know what I mean? Like we all were on the same page with that. I think the challenge with Slam now, I'm finding out as a coach, is that everybody hasn't seen it yet. And so when we talk about the levels of where we need to be to compete with these other cities, it's a miss sometimes because they just haven't seen it yet. And so sometimes the hardest thing in these practices with people who haven't been exposed to Slam yet is to replicate the intensity or the sharpness or the writing maneuvering that competes in the game of Slam, right? Not trying to change your writing, just what it takes to compete in this game of Slam. So I think that, man, we were blessed to have done it together. And I went through the fire with these teammates, and the practices were the hardest thing. The practices were the hardest thing, physically, emotionally, you know what I mean? Like, we ain't like each other sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, you just kind of get into that. I think that that's a part of being together all the time. You know what I mean? Just people being people. I think we were young people. You know what I mean? And so not having all the maturity levels that we probably needed to work with each other, we did the best that we could. And I think in 2014, when I won, I still feel like we all won. You know what I mean? I give credit to everybody who was there for me. You know what I mean? And I was there for everybody on the team, and we did the best we could, And so it's hard for me to acknowledge sometimes that individual stuff because it's truly not what I'm here for. And I know it's hard because, people look at me and say, you're successful with this. I don't get it. That wasn't my goal. My goal was to take this group of people. I wanted to win as a team. I never grew up playing golf or individual sports or, you know what I mean?
Right.
I grew up playing football and basketball and baseball. I needed a team. I wanted a team. You know what I mean? And I think that's what really carries my passion for the game of Slam, right? My poetry for passion won't leave. It won't. I mean, my passion for poetry, poetry won't leave. I'm gonna have that. It's going to mature. Like I said, right now, I'm living my poetry with my family as my poetry right now. So if I'm not present, that's really why. You have to live life, right? And I can't force anything out. And so I really just move through the wheel of the being that moves me.
I love it, man. I love it. And earlier, we talked about competition.
Yeah.
And that fire.
Yep.
You just talked about collaboration in regards to your team.
Yeah.
A question I love to ask my guests on Smoooth Conversations. Talk about, and you also, brought up how you wanted to leave St. Louis until you put a piece out, and all of a sudden, the followers, not fans, but the followers were showing love. Right. So, from your mindset in regards to St. Louis, talk about collaboration versus competition.
I mean, I think people just need to be honest. Honestly, I mean, if you in for it, what you in for it, just say that. You know what I mean? Some people aren't into it for slam, and I recognize that. They say that, and that's why I tell people, if you ain't competing against me, I'm not competing against you, because some people are in it for the business, right? Some people want to make a living off this, and I respect those people. I feel like Lewis is probably the first full-time poet that I've ever known, and I watched him do it at a young age.
Right.
At a young age. So that was always been inspiring. You know what I mean? That's always been inspiring. Yeah. Poets just need to be honest about why they're here, right? If you want to do your poems for clout, you can say that. If you want to do your poetry just to do your poetry, you can say that. You know, but don't judge another person's lane. Stay in your lane, do what you love to do, consume yourself with that, but you can't look over at another person's poetry and say, I don't think that's fair to that person, because the same way you put your heart and soul and your life experiences into what you write, they may have done the same thing. And if they haven't, maybe they don't write for the same reasons you write, but be honest, stay in your lane, you know, whatever it is. And like I said, just show love, meet people where they are, you know.
And speaking of showing love, you referenced this a few times earlier in this conversation, but now we're talking about it. You being a mentor, a teacher, a coach. Why did you want to get into it? And now that you are into it, how gratifying is it?
Yeah, I think like I said, the first time I really was mentoring in that capacity was Verbquake, going into those high schools. I think throughout my life, that capacity has changed. I've been a track coach for a founding team, you know, and so that was fun to see that growth, you know. I've been a football coach, you know, and what I found is the sport changes, but the goals don't. You know, I'm here to make them better people, right? I really push accountability, right? I push, you know, responsibility. You know, these are things that you take with you in life. Right. You don't just use them for the field or the track. You have to take this in life. And when you get those habits, because I believe in good habits, if you get those habits, you take them with you and you automatically do those things. Nobody has to tell you. You just got that knowledge in you. And guess what? You got it from a sport, or you got it from this, you know, it's something else. So it's good.
That's what's up, man. And who are you coaching right now?
Right now, we're forming a team. Okay. We're doing a slam right now. We're doing slams right now. We've already done one this season, which I participated in. I won't participate in anymore going forward, because we are trying to focus on forming a team. We're starting our season. Big announcement. Come to the slams. Jess Rich and Lyrical Therapy, right? He was gracious enough to host a slam. He wanted to host a slam. He put the rules out there. Now we kind of collaborating on it. I'm going to meet him this weekend to get those details finalized. So keep a lookout on our social medias. We're going to be pushing that. But yeah, the season has started. And so we're looking for 4 or 5 poets for this team. And then we also want to bring more poets on just to have them on. You know what I mean? Because we want to be able to still be able to collaborate with the other artists. Even if you don't like slam, writing is writing, right? And I think that we can still have collaborative work with poets who aren't in specific slam fields. You know, writing workshops are big, right? Performance workshops are big. You know, they help people gain that confidence right? To get up there and do the thing that's the scariest thing in the world, you know. So yeah, that's it there.
And I'm gonna have you look at that camera right there.
All right.
And
Lord.
what advice do you want to give to those who want to get into spoken word, who are already in it and may just need that extra push?
Mm-hmm.
What are some words that you like to tell them right now?
What I like to do is when I get my poets, even at the finals a couple years ago, I tell them that they're safe. You're in a safe space. You're in a judge-free zone. They're human here. Everybody's human here, but I think that I try and do a good job of setting up the parameters and boundaries so that artists can be themselves. And then they get to use their own God-given talent to contribute to a thing. You know what I mean? And so I like to ensure them that they're safe, that their creative process is theirs, you know. And I try and love on the poets. I try and meet them where they are, and I also try and raise them up. You know, like I said before, there's levels that I've seen, you know, and if I can get you closer to a Grammy, because some of those poets that I've seen got Grammys now, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like it's empty stats or calories. It's your story. It's your story. I just want to put it on a bigger platform. That's it.
I love it. I love it. Once again, Smooth Conversations, where the conversations are always smooth. This is the moment. He has no idea.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I hear it all the time too. This is once again brought to you by Smooth Moments. I like to do my research and like to just get some cool moments or some moments that may have a huge effect on you. So I'm gonna show you some things, ask you some questions, and once again, for those watching, please feel free to leave comments. Keep them shares going as now we're getting to Smooth Moments. So the man that you are right now, what would you say to this person right here?
Man, stay fearless, stay loyal, stay respectful. That's it.
And just seeing this photo once again just reminds me of the good old days. You just go outside,
man,
just be free. You know what I'm saying? Didn't have no worries, no care in the world. Just having fun. You know.
Man. I'm trying to remember. I don't even know how old I am then, but man, that's a time. Yeah.
What a time.
Man. Yeah, I live with so much. You live with so much carefree joy. And then you get older and it weighs you down. You know, life experiences. And so to look back and see this, man, I feel free. I just live, man. Just live.
And speaking of feeling free, we brought up this spot that has been such a staple in our community. Let's talk about this photo and just what it means.
Look, I got my track joints on. So this might have been a part of a comeback. I probably had took some years off before this. Legacy is a legendary place. I think that for a lot of poets, it was a sanctuary of sorts, you know, and I spent a lot of Fridays, every Friday, begging, scrapping, you know what I mean? Just trying to get into the building there, you know what I'm saying? Borrow my mama car, drop me off. It don't matter, you know. I just needed to be there on Friday nights because when I went there, the energy just received is I felt safe. Like I tell Lewis this. I was like, man, I just felt safe in that place, you know, and there's not many places you feel safe in, especially in today's world. And so I love looking at that, you know, and seeing the old school legacy, and you know, and I do remember the band, and You know what I'm saying? And every Friday, and Lewis used to, if you're worried about it, I've been a who I saw, what club I went to with a homie, baby, don't worry, you know we was at Legacy. And we used to rock out to that every Friday, man. Like
fun times.
That vibe, that just gave me chills right there. And that's just Lewis being an amazing host, the band being crazy, and the crowd and the energy was just, it was, you know, you wanna get that back. And I think there are places that are trying to, you know, and so I encourage all the open mics to keep going, you know, definitely keep going. Keep bringing the raw, genuine energy, keep being you.
And speaking of the energy and just getting that feel from the crowd, from those in attendance, this photo here, I believe you was part of a competition, a local poetry slam event.
Oh, that's Woke Brand. That was the Woke Brand Slam. Shout outs to WK Unlimited, the poet. She just did a poetry versus hip hop with me too.
Oh yeah, at the City Winery, right?
Yeah. I don't know if you got that coming up, my bad. But this was a Woke Brand Slam. This was kind of a comeback-ish thing too. I hadn't done anything in a while, and this was my first run-in with the amazing T Spirit. I think that
oh yeah, amazing.
That was wild. That was wild. That was like some overtime stuff, and yeah, man. And she's great. That event was amazing. The love in that building, it was crazy. It was crazy. I didn't even know how to. I was real competitive that night. You know what I mean? Everybody there was competing with me. You know, I was real competitive that night. I won't even lie. I was in the zone. You know, and man, I just go up there and do poems, man. And they like it. It was a good night.
And you brought up something a while back. You were saying when you do certain pieces, when you're in that zone, how you don't hear nothing.
Yeah,
you don't. It reminds me of the movie Biker Boys.
Remember? That's fair. Yeah,
and when Lawrence Fishburne, you know, his character, as soon as he's off, tunnel vision. So that's the exact same way that you feel.
Yeah, I think that yes, but really just, man, it's just dark. You know, it's just dark. I guess it's tunnel a little bit, man, but it's more like they just cut the lights off and it's just me now. You know, spotlight on me. It's just me in this room by myself. Let me do this how I've been practicing. You know what I mean? Whatever feelings come out. And man, I think those moments are special and rare, and they're hard to explain. You know, it kind of just happens. I don't know when it's gonna happen. Yeah, I don't know when it's gonna happen. I can pray for it to happen, but I don't. You know, it's gonna happen when it happens. You know,
and those can be some of the best feelings in the world when, like you said, you don't plan for it.
Yeah,
it just something that overcomes you, and it's like boom.
Yeah, I like that because it lets me know that I'm still attached to what I wrote.
Right.
You know, if I'm reading something and I don't have no attachment to it, then you're not gonna have an attachment to it. You know, so I just, you know, that's how I like to do things.
And speaking of in sync, talk about this one right here.
Lord. Hey, look at that. That's Greg the Poet, Sahara, Free, my brother Free, and Unspoken. Yeah. What we doing? We doing Caskets, I think. We doing a poem called Caskets. It's taken on a few different versions, but man, it was hot that day. I promise you it was.
Where was that at?
That I think we're in the park. We're at the African Arts Festival.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, I think we're in the park, man. It was so hot. It was so hot up there. Yeah, that was fun, man. I like that team too. That team, man. So I think where did we go? We went to some small place, man, and we should have won. And I think that I made a bad call the first night. I made a bad, as a coach does, or I wasn't even a coach then. I was like I was part of the team. I don't know. The call we made, it didn't work out, man. And that was a real talented team too. I think we got a lot of talented people come through here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of talented people.
This photo here I thought was pretty dope because not just because of you, but because of the people that were behind you. And I'm the kind of person that when I realize certain people are in the building, it's like, let me let them know just who I am, you know.
Right.
So I think this photo kind of speaks to me on that. What about you?
Oh man, look at Ronnie, I mean, fellas, yeah. I think I was just honored to be there, man. I think that when people invite me to their spaces to share my gift, I owe them. I owe them before they owe me. You know, we gonna get into the monetary stuff, but like if you book me, I owe you a performance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you don't have to book me. You don't have to ask me to come. You know what I mean? Like you could just choose another artist, but for you to choose me, to take your time out to choose me, like I respect that up front. You know what I mean? And yes, I will come and give one a performance. I'm gonna come and put on a performance. Whatever he gives me, I'm finna give y'all. Sometimes that mean I'm gonna cry. Sometimes that mean I'm gonna be up there sweating. I might spit in the front row. Sorry about that. But like, I just never wanted to short a performance, and I set the standard. I think I set the standard early, and I always wanted to meet that standard.
Talk about the feeling of. I know some spoken word artists don't like to grab the mic. Some do the whole nine. But talk about that feeling as a artist when you have the mic and now you have that power because you have that attention just like this. And everyone is like, okay, he about to spit. Let's go.
Yo, that's so yeah, I adjust the mic. I try to make sure it's cool and it's supposed to be right here. There's all the technical talk, but really I'm getting myself together. Because like I said before, stage fright, terrible. I was terrified in this photo. I was terrified. I was doing a gala. I was doing the Black Ball Gala with Shorty the Prince. He puts on every year. I think this might have been the first one he did. Or say, I'm not sure. I don't know the years, but one year he invited me out to do it, and they were dressed so nice, bro. They look beautiful, and I'm like, I don't even own a suit. Yeah, I'm gonna come here. What they gonna think of me, right? And so this moment, I'm just like, this is when I gotta just let the weights go, and whatever happens, happen. And I think it was a good night. I think it worked out.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
That's dope.
Talk about the power. Because I saw this, and I said, I know this has to symbolize something, but when you see this photo right here, let's talk about
it. Man, I just think the sacrifices. I think that's the first thing that come to mind. The sacrifices. I'm grateful. You know what I mean? And the sacrifices, man, they paved the way. You know what I mean? One of the people to have to be in the spotlight and be able to lead a group of people. I think that's tough. Thank you. I appreciate it. The sacrifices she has to make. Right. Whole different story, but behind every Black man is a great Black woman, and we don't really talk about the sacrifices that Black women have to make for these Black men sometimes, especially when they're in the spotlight. And so, I just say sacrifices. I'm grateful. I'm thankful.
Yes, much respect to Martin Luther King and his queen, his everything, Coretta Scott King. So much love. And let's talk about this photo right here.
Man, what's life? This is life. You know what I mean? That's Georgia. I'm in Georgia, backwoods of Georgia with some family, man. And it's amazing because, you know, they were afraid of the two little ones. They were afraid of water. But like we just got them out there, and then we had to catch them sometimes because they just ready to go. And then to be able to get them to sit still, and I get all of them, you know, this is what my heaven would consist of. You know what I mean? Like, this is, what else do I need? As long as all of them good like that, man, I don't know what else I'm supposed to be doing, but I think I'm doing something right when I have these moments right here.
That is what's up, man. Love it. And once again, appreciate. Right. Once again, I appreciate you being on Smoooth Conversations, man. And I've had you booked for a minute, and I appreciate you for being available. We brought it up earlier, but as we are about to end this amazing conversation, going back to parenting, talk about, for you, being not just a father, but a Black father in this world we're living in.
My honest feelings aren't very encouraging. I'll say that when I had children, I feel like my anxiety went up. You know what I mean? Because you have these small little creatures, man, and they don't know nothing, and they depend on you for everything. You don't get a break. You know, you don't get a day off. You don't get tired. You know what I'm saying? And they need you for everything. You're responsible for teaching this human how to be human and live good and be right, and how to make complicated choices and when to make complicated choices. You know what I mean? There's so many facets of life that I've lived, failed at, you know, done over again, that and all that knowledge I just try and pass down to them, you know, to make their journey as easy as possible. They're going to have their own trials and tribulations and, you know, worries and things like that. And I'm just going to be there to support. You know what I mean? And being a father is great. It's great, but it's scary. It's scary. It's a lot of responsibility. I think when they say it forces you to grow up, I think it does force you to grow up. I think that you learn every day, right? They teach you how they want to be treated, you know what I'm saying? And you teach them how they deserve to be treated. And you have this give and take, you know, and you don't get it wrong every day. And like you said, my daughter be mad at me sometimes, and that's okay. And we come back and we talk about it later, but I let her know, hey, this is why I did this, you know. In that moment, you know, I don't necessarily need you to come back at me, because your safety is what's important to me. That's first and foremost. So, you know, if I say get down, I mean get down, right, you know. Right. And in today's world, I need that from them. And so they have to trust me before they can give you that respect. Right. And so I try to show up. I'm there every day, being a good person, being a good man, trying to model a good man and try to model good relationship, what good relationships look like, what being a good son looks like, what being a good child looks like, you know, just being a leader. Being a leader looks like, you know, a rebel, what being a rebel when it's time for that, what that looks like, you know, but also how to be a peacemaker, you know, because there's time for diplomacy sometimes also, you know. It's so many facets.
It is.
And sometimes I find myself saying some things and it's like, oh, wait, hold on. You know, but it's constantly moving, you know. It's grace. They give me grace and they love me, and I love them.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
And any special shout outs, you can look at that camera and show love to the people who've tuned in or not watching right now, whomever.
Man, I'm glad you said that, because I was gonna cut you off. I'm like, hold on, I gotta give a shout out. No, my mother, My mother. She is that's my angel. That's my soldier. She going through stuff now. You know, and it's not the first time we've been here. We're gonna beat this again. But she a warrior, and she has all my love. And I know people are praying for her. She got all her angels by her, all my aunties and my cousins and everybody. And so I think about you every day. My father, shouts out to him. He got my son right now. He mad at me because I ain't picked him up yet. But I'm going to get him when I leave here. You know what I mean? And, my lady, the mother of my children, love you. My children, Kesara, Kylan, my aunties, my cousins, anybody who loves me, I love you. Man, shouts out to you. Respect, bro. I'm super proud of people when I continue to see them grow. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so you've grown in every facet, you know what I mean? And it's like, appreciate I remember that. The DJ, yeah. You know what I mean? But now it's like, now I know the man.
Yeah.
Now I know the man. And I appreciate that, man.
Hey, I appreciate that too, man. And take away spoken word, take away being a coach, teacher, take away being a parent, take away being a son. Who is James?
I think a genuine soul, man. I think a genuine soul. I think that I say what I mean most of the time. I think that I mean no harm to anyone or anything most of the time. And I think that when I don't know, I'm quiet and I listen. And when I do know, I try and share. Yeah. I live by love and grace, bro. That's it. I would want the same.
That's what's up, man. That is definitely what's up, man. Once again, brother, thank you.
Yeah,
being on Smoooth Conversations. I told you.
Yeah,
I told you it was gonna be, what I'm saying, real easy, real smooth with 3 O's, and you're gonna be like, man, it's time to go. Yep. But
that's what's up.
Everyone who's tuned in, thank y'all very much, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. This is your boy Smoooth with 3 O's. Make sure y'all go ahead and show love, man, and just go to Smoooth Conversations on YouTube. Like, subscribe, spread the word, because all I'm doing is providing more positivity all across these airwaves. Someone has to do it, and why not me? And also go to beatdistrictradio.com. Check out the website. Check out all the upcoming events that we have coming up. Check out the lineup of shows, just like Smoooth Conversations and so many other great shows that we have on KBDR Beat District Radio. Check out the website or go to the app, whether it's Google Play or App Store. We sound amazing, high definition. The app is off the chain, so check it out. Share that with the peoples, and continue to show love, man. And once again, if you want to have some ad space or be a sponsor on one of the shows here on KBDR Beat District Radio, just shoot us an email at info@beatdistrictradio.com. And as I brought it before, tomorrow I'll be using my Smoooth Conversation skills as a moderator, and I'll be being a part of a wonderful event called Elevate Him, the 7th annual Elevate Conference. Going to be a lot of successful Black men with stories to tell. And I have the honor to moderate. I will be holding things down from 1 o'clock to 1:45 as we shut things down. So come on through to UMSL Millennium Student Center from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow, October the 10th. You can register right now, mjcelevate.org, or for those watching, scan the QR code right now and register. It is a free event. Once again, it is a free event. So once again, come on through and be a part of this amazing conference. Once again, this show is being brought to you by Smoooth Moments. You need some photography, videography, some drone services. Speaking of videography, did my first music video with an amazing artist, Tahil, and she now has on YouTube over 150,000 views. Yours truly be doing it all, like Jayluvve said. Not just doing one thing. I'm a DJ, I'm an MC, host, content. You think about production, think about me. So Smoooth Moments, book right now, smoothproductions.com, Smoooth the 3 O's, or as y'all saw before, for those who may watch it again, just scan the QR code and connect with any and all things under the Smoooth Productions umbrella. It is your boy Smoooth Conversations, where the conversations are always smooth. Y'all have a great rest of y'all evening. Stay tuned, stay smooth.
What you have just experienced was brought to you by Smoooth Productions. Until next time, stay tuned and stay smooth.